Like, hello class, this is Danny again. I saw some comments regarding my last video upload that some of you weren't able to see it, so I will work harder to try to figure out what did I do wrong. But on this, we are supposed to pick a topic of interest. I think one that's dear to heart to all Christians and everybody is when the presidential race comes about, everybody gets involved regarding, well, who's going to say what? What is this person going to do? What changes are they going to do? All those things. To me, though, I think there should be some other things that are added on to what qualifies you as for president. I think that as you come up as a politician, based on your background, I believe that should be a key factor if you're allowed to take the most powerful oath in the world for the greatest country in the world. So here we have on this side Republicans, you have Donald Trump. And we all know Donald's a wild guy, says what he wants, he shoots from the hip. But I think what many people are gravitating towards is he's different. He's not a politician. He's not somebody who's been brought up and has all that baggage like most politicians all do. On the other side, you have Hillary Clinton, first woman to be nominated, which is fine. I'm not against women being president. I mean, I think a woman could do the job just as well as any man out there in the world could do. But I want to look at some of the points regarding her background. To me, as a Christian man, I feel it's wrong to vote for a murderer. And I ask you the same question. As a Christian people, would you vote for a murderer? Now, pointing the finger, I'm not one to judge. We don't judge. Only God judges us. But we could look at facts and figures and see, we can make a good decision. And I believe that by her actions as Secretary of State, as she's gone forward, has shown her inability to lead, to take responsibility, and to be a proven leader. Now, a proven leader is somebody, like Abraham Lincoln, George Washington, proven leaders that went out there and got the support of the people. They didn't lie to the people. They didn't cover up things to the people. They were straightforward. But what's the difference? They were godly men. And that's what you saw when this nation was first founded. You had godly men in charge of the greatest nation at the time. I believe that by her actions, as when we look back at September 11, 2012, the attack on Benghazi, there's a lot of rumors going out there, but facts is that they knew that they had a position that was very, very unprotected, didn't have the proper security, and basically were getting, as they were begging for help, there were significant forces around the area that could have flown in and helped out, but they were getting orders to stand down, that this wasn't a terrorist attack, this wasn't this. This is all based on some video or whatever. Well, as Congress looked into it, they found out that it was a terrorist attack, and now because of the actions of our leaders at the time, Secretary of State Clinton, we had 4 Americans killed, and we have many eyewitnesses. I believe his name's Tonto, a Navy SEAL who survived the attack, basically saying our guys were sacrificed for no reason. He survived. I look at, her going to Congress when they looked into it, and she lied to Congress stating that, oh, this was not a terrorist attack. This was not a coordinated attack. This was just a protest that got out of hand based on some video that's out there. Well, that wasn't the case. We also look at, her handling the situation with the families. She lied to them. She came out and said, well, I'm sorry, this was just a bad demonstration that went out. But that's not the case. Okay, these guys were killed by a terrorist attack, and she sat there and lied to everybody regarding the whole situation. Now, looking at some of the other things I look at is that, to me, a true leader is somebody who's honest, who is trustworthy, and straightforward. Well, we don't see that. You look at, we just wrapped up on the Republican and Democratic conventions. I see the difference in, if you look at the Republican side, American flags all over the place, representing the colors. That's how it should be. But if you look at the Democratic ways, we didn't see one because they didn't want to offend other Democrats out there. Well, to me, it's like, what, if you're not going to stand up and work your way and honor the flag for all those men and women who put it out there, it's a slap in their face to give you guys these quote-unquote freedoms of choice. Because you don't want to offend, well, you know what, that flag is what represented this country. And I think it's a disgrace that you don't want to fly that flag, be proud of that flag, because you don't want to offend some other people. Well, and not all people are like that. I know many people who've come to this country and have done things the right way, who became American citizens, and they're proud to have that flag as their flag as a citizen. So I look at, as we go forward, you know, I think that some things we really need to refocus in on is limiting term limits for senators, and looking at qualifications for people who want to be president. And as Obama's, you know, in his speech today, he said, if you want to be president, act like a president. Well, I don't think Hillary Clinton is acting like a president. I think she's very self-centered and very, what's the best word I could say? I mean, selfish. She doesn't care basically who she steps on as she goes through. And, you know, as they continued on with this investigation and her statements coming out saying, oh, well, it's time to move on from this whole incident. Well, you know what? We have American families grieving for these guys that could have been saved if we had people come out to help them, but we didn't get that. I really feel that as Christians we need to take a grasp of this and really, you know, focus in on this and get God back into this country, because, you know, another 4 years of Hillary will just really, this country's going to become more godless than it really is. So I just want to end this by saying that I think it's important as American people, and I think this is the first time where we've seen a lot of American people really get energized by this election, wanting their voices heard, that we need to be heard. We need to get God back into this country. We need a change, and I think that we need to have facts and figures about people who want to run for president. So I thank you for listening, and I'll see you later.